and insulin interferes with that. Hyperinsulinemia interferes with that. So even though the baby's not premature, you still want to check the LS ratio to make sure the lungs are mature prior to delivery. Good. 10 bonus points for you. If only. If I had that power, I'd be a very rich woman. It'd be great. Okay, so neonatal fever. Anytime a baby under 1 month old has a fever, because it can lead to chlamydia pneumonia. And that's probably the one you'll get a test question about, just because it's got more long-term complications for the baby. Okay, so newborn baby, decreased tone, oblique puppy-bowl fissures, semi-increased big tongue, white spots on the iris. Downs. And IQ and development. Yeah, so moderate MR and developmental delay. So if it's not caught as a newborn, it'll be caught soon thereafter. Common medical complications: disease, hypertonia, self-injurious behavior, Cornelia de Lange. This one you'll probably see: microcephaly, smooth fulcrum, thin upper lip, ADHD-like behavior, and it is the most common cause of mental retardation. Fetal alcohol syndrome. Good. The most common cause of mental retardation in boys: Fragile X. Autosomal dominant. This is actually associated with advanced paternal age. White forelock and deafness. Ear infections. So there's lots of IgE. Westcott-Aldrich. Good. Very good. And you often pick this up because of prolonged bleeding after circumcision, because thrombocytopenia is the characteristic. Good. And they've got high IgE and IgA. The other two types are usually low. Okay. So usually newborns lose 10% of their birth weight in 1 week. Poor kids. Yeah, so they pee. With stepping or placing reflex. When the neck is turned to one side, the opposite arm flexes and the lateral arm extends. Fencing. Tonic neck. When a fall is stimulated and arms are extended, that's parachute. So parachute and Moro are kind of similar, but the parachute reflex, it's when you pick the baby up from its tummy. So like it's laying on its tummy, and you pick it up and so that's parachute. And if you notice, that's the one that never goes away. The rest of those primitive reflexes are typically gone by 6 months. The parachute reflex persists. And these originate, because I love neurology, in the brainstem and vestibular nuclei. All right, so these are pain. So let's practice. When can a baby roll over? 6 months. Other things a baby can do at 6 months are sit with support, creep and crawl, and develop stranger anxiety. So that's normal. When can a baby skip around and copy a triangle? For that age group. So these questions can be hard. Okay, potty training. This is fun. So when should a baby be able to have urinary continence? It's pathologic after 5. Most children have it before 5, but it's pathologic after 5 years old. Medical causes to rule out: always do a UA first, because a UTI is the most common cause of enuresis. And treatment, remember you always use behavioral before drugs. Fecal continence, you should have that a little earlier. It's pathologic after 4 years old. Most common cause is constipation. Treatment: relieve the constipation. Doesn't sound like a fun job. And behavioral modification: stick on the pot after they eat. That can help use the gastrocolic reflex to your advantage. Okay, some stuff on immunizations. Sickle cell kids, super bad for sickle cell kids, also for pregos. Right? Pregnant ladies, if they get sick, their baby can develop hydrocephalus and die. So bad for sickle cell kids because it can cause an aplastic crisis. Bad for pregnant women. So our third rash is a fine maculopapular rash that desquamates. It begins on the chest, spreads to the neck, trunk, and extremities with a strawberry tone. Scarlet fever. And how do we treat it? Penicillin. Very good. And we treat penicillin, remember, to prevent rheumatic fever, but it does nothing against glomerulonephritis. Okay, so this poor kid has a cough, runny nose, fever, and then gets a rash that begins behind the ears and goes down the body. And there are also gray spots on the buccal mucosa. Measles. So those are Koplik spots, the gray ones. How do we treat it? Vitamin A, very good. Vitamin A and supportive care. So sore throat, joint pain, fever, pinpoint rash on the face that spreads down, and rose spots on the palate. That's your the joint pain and sore throat. Okay. So meningitis, most common bugs in life for everybody. Strep pneumo. H. flu and Neisseria meningitidis are runners up. In the super young or immune suppressed, like neonates maybe. Herpes strep. Listeria is what I was going for because that's also immune suppressed people are susceptible. In people who've had brain surgery and instrumentation, staph. Usually staph aureus. If they're having brain surgery with, instruments going in the brain, it increases risk of staph. And then other random ones, TB can cause meningitis and also Lyme disease. And remember, if Lyme disease causes meningitis, doxy won't work. You've got to use ceftriaxone IV. So the best first step if you suspect meningitis, tap them. Should we do anything before we tap them? Yeah, so I think that's going to be the right answer. You want to either, then we need a culture. Very good, especially if we have high clinical suspicion like with this kiddo. And how do we treat strep? Penicillin. So again, why do we treat strep? To prevent rheumatic fever. That's why we treat it. It's not really a big deal. Penicillin only shortens the sickness by maybe 1 or 2 days, but it does prevent or decrease the risk of developing rheumatic fever. So if this same kiddo maybe didn't get treatment and then comes to you a few days later with a muffled voice and stridor and won't turn down, what complication has he developed? Yes, the retropharyngeal abscess. So it prevents retropharyngeal starting to affect the voice and it prevents turning of the head. Treat here, you've got to aspirate it, you've got to IND the abscess, just like an abscess anywhere, and treat with strong antibiotics. Complications here, you could get mediastinitis, because I don't know if you remember from anatomy way back in the day, the retropharyngeal space communicates with the mediastinum. So an abscess there could cause inflammation and